Before we dive into the astrology today, I want to share something with you. This was me in high school, and you might be thinking, great, a photo of younger you. What about it? The fact that there are even photos of me is a miracle because when I tell you I had a strategy to get out of being seen, I mean it. Whether it was tying my shoe, standing at the very back, or going to the bathroom just to escape being on the photo, I mean it. Now, in hindsight, I'm a little bit sad that I don't have the memories, but I want to show you that if this girl in the photo who never wanted to be seen, never raised her hand in class, always tried to get out of people noticing her, can change into the woman that I'm now, if you told that girl that I would be running my own business, that I would be talking to the camera and helping thousands of women every day, she would have laughed. She probably wouldn't even have laughed. She was like, please do not look at me. Please do not talk to me. Please don't notice me. So when I tell you that I have lived what I'm about to share with you, I mean it. I genuinely hated being seen, but it is a way out of that because you deserve to shine in your whole power. Before we dive in deeper, I want to say hi to everyone that's new. My name is Sophia and I grew up around astrology. I've been an astrologer myself for the last 10 years and have read thousands of charts. This is my biggest passion. And personally, I do not believe that your birth chart tells you what you can and cannot do. It is not a prison that you can't escape. Instead, it's your blueprint to creating your own dream life. You deserve to tap into the power of your own chart. On top of that, I'm also a certified neuroscience coach, so I love blending the power of the brain with your energies. If that's something that you love, then I hope you'll stay and let's dive right in. Now, let me be honest, for the longest time, I thought this was a lack of confidence. I thought if I just read more self-help books, tried to push myself harder, and did the strategy of fake it until you make it, I would finally feel confident enough to show up for myself. But the problem is this feeling of wanting to hide, of wanting to blend into the wall never left me. And if you're at that same stage right now, I want to make sure that you know that there is nothing wrong with you. That's why I talked about wanting to blend neuroscience with astrology because they both tell you the exact same thing. It is not a lack of confidence, it is actually a lack of safety because your brain is just trying to protect you from the dangers of being rejected and outcast. Your whole body is just screaming at you to stay where you're safe. So if you're at that point where you know you want more for yourself, where you want to be visible, whether it is posting online or just speaking up in class, going after your dreams and being okay with asking for more, with speaking up, then know that it is possible. But there is nothing wrong with you. Your brain is just not used to you stepping out of your comfort zone. It immediately associates danger with going out into the world and being seen. But we're about to change that, and astrology is how we do it. This is where the astrology is about to change your life because I know it did the same for me. When I needed a transformation, a next level, or an answer, I've always looked towards my birth chart. And when clients come to me now and say, I'm so afraid of being seen, it feels like death, I always say, let's look at your Imum Coeli. The crazy part is that most people ignore this point, even though it is one of the most psychologically powerful parts of your birth chart. Your Imum Coeli, in short, your IC, is your emotional conditioning. It is your sense of safety. It is connected deeply to your childhood. It shows the safety or lack thereof that you've experienced in your childhood and the blockages now keeping you from stepping into your highest self. Because directly opposite your IC lies your midheaven, also called your MC, and you might have heard people talk about as the key to your success. And yes, while I agree the MC is a big part of it, it is not all. Your MC is about the version that you are becoming, your visibility, your legacy, and part of your branding. But the deep connection to your IC and the power that it has is often overlooked. I like to compare it to a tree. Your IC is the roots. This is where you grow strong, you receive your nourishment. On top is the crown. This is your MC, where you blossom, where you become the version of yourself that you are meant to be. But I already talked about it. if you do not receive and overcome the limited conditionings of your childhood, you will never grow into this version. Because if your IC still believes that visibility is dangerous, your MC will feel impossible. This is why I want to focus on your IC for this video, because it is the key to finally growing into that beautiful, confident, and visible version of yourself. And this is a powerful path to go on, because I know how it feels. I did the exact same thing. I have my IC in Leo. And when we talk about these energies, I want you to understand that no matter what sign you have as your IC, there is always a healthy and unhealthy version of that energy. There's always the expression that can be very powerful and another that can be very limiting. That is why I do not believe that your birth chart is keeping you small or is telling you what you can or cannot do, because at the end of the day, you can live this energy in a good way or in a bad way. And sadly, a lot of times when it comes to our IC, this conditioning limits us. There's some kind of criticizing and keeping us small that brings us into the unhealthy expression of that energy. It was the same thing for me. So we want to lean into the healthy expression of that sign. This was for me learning to lean into my own joy, being okay with showing up without the applause of others and just doing what feels right to me and my inner child. Because I realized I grew up with people around me telling me that I'm too spoiled, that I'm asking for too much, because I grew up as an only child with my mom being a single mom. And she always told me, you can have whatever you want. Like, tell me what you want. We will find a way to make it happen. It might not be right now, but we will make it happen at some point. And this was a powerful thing, what my mom told me. And that's the crazy part. I do not just want you to look at your personal family. Your family might have pushed you and supported you in this healthy expression of this energy, but it could still be school, teachers, friends, society, family, friends that tried to keep you small. There is still a conditioning around the themes of your IC, even if it wasn't your immediate family. So I want you to make sure that you tap in and look back at your childhood and see, what have people said about you when you asked for things, when you became big, when you wanted to own the room, when you were loud. Because personally, I realized when I was young that a lot of family friends always said to my mom, your daughter, she's so spoiled, she always get what she wants, there's no boundaries for her, like this is not good, you cannot do this with a child. And my mom always made sure she wanted to include me, so she would ask me questions. She was like, do you want this option or this option? And they were like, how can you ask a child should know, or you shouldn't ask a child, you should just tell her what to do. And this is crazy, because on one hand, a part of me learned that I can be my own independent person, that I can say I want this or I can say no. But on the other hand, I had my grandparents or I had family friends telling me that I was such a bad child and that I was asking for too much. So you can already see this discrepancy. This showed up in my life as I got older. When I was in high school, I loved, like when I was growing up, when I was younger, even in my high school years, I loved Hannah Montana. And I loved like singing, being on stage, being like, I wanted that. I was like, I want to become someone famous. I want, like, this is what you usually do as a kid. Like, you find something where you're like, this is what I do. And for me, I wanted that. But the problem came in when society around me told me that is too much. I still remember vividly when I was at a friend's house and I was always someone who laughed loud. Like, I would cackle. So when I was at my friend's house, I hear my friend's parents say, "Oh my God, what's that? Like, what child, why is she like that? Why is she laughing so loud?" Can you imagine grown up people telling a child she's laughing too loud? Yeah, that's crazy, but okay. And that's what I want you to realize as well. Look back at your childhood. Look back at the people. How did they talk about you when you were yourself? And this gives you the clue in what it is time for you to heal. And of course, we're not stopping there and we're looking at your own birth chart. So pull up your birth chart right now. As always, I will put in the description on how to pull up your birth chart on AstroSeek and how to find your IC. Here is my own chart, and you can see, as I talked about, my IC is in Leo. So for you, the sign that is here as your IC will tell you the energies that you grew up around. You can drop it in the comments as well. I would love to hear what energies we have and what is in the community, what is happening. Share a little bit about your own journey. And if you want to dive deeper into your energy, you can also download my free Divine Blueprint Guide. I give you the healthy and unhealthy expression of every sign, every house, so you can know whether you have Cancer or Capricorn. You can understand a little bit deeper what it means to have that energy as your IC. For example, if you have your IC in Cancer, this can be deeply tied to your emotions. So either people were very emotionally manipulating, they felt like your emotions were too much, or they used your emotions to guilt you into things. So there is a deep connection when it comes to your feelings. And your IC sign will tell you what it is time for you to dive deeper in and to heal. And the best way to do exactly that is two things. You want to bring in awareness and you want to move with purpose and build new habits. So what I asked myself were these questions. When I wanted attention as a child, what happened? Was success celebrated or criticized? What do I secretly believe people would think if I showed up and was visible? And what would happen in my life if I would finally stop believing that visibility is dangerous? All of these questions helped me understand in the way that I grew up. And like I said, please do not limit this to your immediate family. It can be your parents, it can be your siblings, but it can also be grandparents or teachers. It can be society around you. It doesn't have to be your parents. So I want you to look at that emotional conditioning and your childhood in the grand scheme of things. There will be things, there will be vivid memories that you can remember where people criticized you for wanting attention, where people talked badly about you, or they made jokes. You will remember this, and this will give you the clue and the awareness that you need to move into the next phase. And this brings us to the next part, moving with purpose. Like I said, with my IC in Leo, I really needed to learn that it's okay for me to just be seen as someone who's in love with themselves, even selfish or spoiled. I do not care anymore what people think about the things that I desire, but I know that I want a big life for myself, that I want to help a lot of people, that I want to share my story to show others that this is possible, that you can be truly in love with yourself and enjoy your life and create your dream life no matter what other people say. And the more that you lean into the healthy expression of that sign in your IC, the more you will feel safe in your MC. And we will dive deeper into this in another video where I will talk to you about the MC, but just know that this is the key, because for me, I will show you this as an example. The more that I felt comfortable with shining my light, with sharing my opinion, and with just moving out of my own way and really living by my inner child and my joy, the more I leaned into my MC. And my MC is an Aquarius. And this is the energy of the rebellion. This is innovation. This is hopeful future. This is quantum jumping. And this is what I want to bring to you. It is also deeply connected to astrology. This is why I do what I do. So you can see that the path you move toward and the path that you move on, like, you will move through this and it will change everything for you. This will be a chain reaction. The more you lean into this positive energy of your IC, the more you will feel safe and living out your MC naturally, easily. It will be as easy as breathing because you stopped shaming yourself. You stop being afraid of rejection and criticism, and you know how to handle it now. It doesn't mean it doesn't sting when people say something bad or, criticize you, but at the end of the day, you know who you are. You know what you're here to build, and you know that you're keeping yourself safe. You give yourself the safety that you need, so it doesn't matter if the outside world approves or not. Now, I would love for you to leave your IC in the comments. Let's chat. Let's share your journey. I love to connect with you in the comments. And if you realize you want to dive deeper, you're ready to finally heal that fear of visibility and step into your highest calling, you're ready for your dream life, then make sure to check out my Safe and Seen Blueprint. It is a personalized deep dive into your IC and MC, helping you step into your highest version and create that dream life and finally eradicate that fear of being seen. I will link it in the description. As always, if you love this video, then leave a like and don't forget to subscribe before you go because I would love to have you here. I'll see you in the next video.